Tales from My Town. Stories inspired by the people and pets of Rockwood, Ontario, by Heather Gregory. Presents the Swedish Meatball Fiasco. Titan Bichon and his best friend Coco Dane stared at the frying pan, full of meatballs bubbling slowly on the stove. The aroma made their mouths drool with anticipation. Suddenly, an idea popped into Titan Bichon's head that Coco Dane heartily agreed with. A loud crash brought Coco's father running into the kitchen, and he was terribly upset to see his dinner all over the kitchen floor. He looked at Coco and Titan in disbelief. Swedish meatball sauce was matted in their fur. Paw prints, both big and small, littered the frying pan. Titan irked. Coco licked her lips. Titan and Coco decided to say the mess was an accident. Their parents could not punish them for an accident. They had nothing to do with it. The meatballs accidentally fell out of the pan by themselves. They just helped with the cleanup. It was an accident, Coco calmly explained. The meatballs fell out of the pan. We were cleaning up the mess. Coco's father's face turned red. He pointed his finger toward Coco's bed and, with a raised voice, said, "Go and think about what you have done." Coco slunk to her bed with her tail between her legs and lay down. He turned his gaze to Titan. He did not need to say anything. Titan knew that look. He left Coco's house without a word. Titan's mom received a distressing phone call from Coco's dad, explaining the whole messy incident. He was more upset his Coco lied to him than the fact his dinner was a mess on the kitchen floor. Titan's mom agreed. Meatballs do not fall out of frying pans by themselves. Titan's mom was not as naive as Titan thought her. She knew Titan Bichon was not as innocent as he would claim. Titan walked in the door like nothing happened. His fur was splattered with Swedish meatball sauce. His mom smiled. "How come you are home so early?" his mom questioned. Coco's dad sent her to bed to think about what she had done, Ty replied casually. "Oh, what did she do?" Her dad's Swedish meatballs accidentally fell out of the pan on the stove and onto the floor. He found her paw prints in the pan, and she was covered in sauce. She told him it was an accident, but he did not believe her. "She's not the only one covered in sauce," Titan's mom replied, as she looked down at Ty with an inquiring gaze. Titan began to sweat a little. She knows, he thought. Titan gave her a shy grin and blinked his big brown eyes. He gazed up at her with that sad puppy dog look. This always worked. Titan's mom smiled. He was so cute, it was hard to punish him. "Really, Mom, it was an accident," Ty said flatly. "I did not do it." He looked up at his mom with those pleading, innocent-looking brown eyes. His mom smiled. She pulled him up on her lap and petted him. Ty was sure his mom would believe him. Accidents happen, but not to meatballs on stoves. Meatballs do not fall out of pans by themselves, but they might if they have help, Titan's mom cooed softly. Ty gulped. Uh-oh, Ty thought. Here it comes. That look. He tried to wriggle out of her arms and slink away, but her grip was too tight. He did not like that look. That look made him feel smaller than his Bichon size. Those meatballs were delicious, but they were not worth the guilt his mom made him feel at this moment. "I love you no matter what," his mom said quietly. But how can I trust you in the future if you don't tell me the truth now? I do have to punish you, but your punishment will be worse if you lie. Titan's mom looked down at him through her glasses. That look showed the disappointment in her eyes. He felt so guilty that he confessed to everything. Well, Ty began, the meatballs smelled so good. And both Coco and I were hungry. The meatballs made our stomachs growl in protest. I came up with the idea that Coco, being an excessively big and tall Great Dane, could pick one or two of the meatballs out of the pan with her mouth. But the pan was hot, and the meatballs burned her lips. The sting of the burn caused Coco to jump. The pan came crashing down and sprayed us with sauce. Once the meatballs hit the floor, they quickly cooled, and we gobbled them down as many meatballs as we could before Coco's dad discovered our mess. Titan's mom kissed him and scratched his ears. His guilt faded. The truth had set him free. Titan felt happy and relieved. The whole meatball fiasco was out in the open. The pan was not supposed to fall off the stove, but that did not make the meatball fiasco an accident. Titan was sent to his bed without supper as his punishment, but he did not complain. He was full of meatballs. After being sent to bed as a punishment, Titan and Coco both learned even accidents have consequences when they are disguised in a lie. Written and narrated by Heather Gregory, copyright 2021, models created by Heather Gregory, photography by Heather Gregory, sound effects courtesy of My Frying Pan. And don't forget to subscribe!